Now that you've been introduced to sketches, you're going to extrude the circle to create the pin. Before we do that, we're going to look at the current status of the sketch. If you look in the Feature Manager, you can see that the sketch is now above the rollback bar. And since the origin symbol is still visible, we're still in sketch mode. There's a specific point when the sketch jumps above the rollback bar, and the construction of this sketch is too short to explain it here. So you'll learn more about this later in the course. The next step is to exit sketch mode. Click the Exit Sketch command, and then click the Features tab. The command we're going to use is the Extruded Boss command, and from now on I'll refer to this command as the Extrude command. Click the command, and when you do, the view rotates to show the isometric view of the circle being extruded. This is actually a preview of the extrude operation. When the operation is complete, the part will become opaque. The active tab on the Feature Manager is the Property Manager tab, and the active command is the Boss Extrude command. Whenever you're executing a command, you can click the question mark to open the SolidWorks help for the command. Feel free to do this after you perform the tasks in this lesson. For now, we're going to look at the From options. You can extrude from a sketch plane, which is what we're going to do, and you can extrude from an existing surface, a vertex or a point, and you can offset the start of the extrusion by entering an offset value. For this lesson, leave the sketch plane option selected. The Direction 1 section controls the end of the extrusion. We're going to use the Blind option, which extrudes the profile a specific distance from the sketch plane. Most of these options require existing surfaces or reference geometry, so we can't use them now. But the Midplane option extrudes the profile above and below the sketch. Half the extrusion extends above the sketch and the other half is below the sketch. Select the Blind option. If you want to reverse the direction of the extrusion, click this button. By default, the direction of the extrusion is normal to the sketch, but you can change the direction using this window. We'll need more geometry in the graphics area to do this, so you'll see how this is done later in the course. The length of the extrusion is controlled with this setting. Set the length to 1 inch. You can add draft by clicking this button. And you can change the direction of the draft by checking this box. Uncheck the option and deactivate draft. Another thing you can do is add a second direction to the operation. Direction 2 always points 180 degrees away from direction 1. So this option is like making an independent extrusion in the opposite direction. It can have draft, and it can be a different length. But notice that you don't have the option of changing the direction. That's because direction 2 points in the opposite direction of direction 1. We'll talk about the other options for the Extrude command later in the course. For now, uncheck direction 2. Confirm that the length of the extrusion is 1 inch, and then type the Enter key or click the green check. Now you can see the extruded feature in the graphics area, and if you look in the Feature Manager, you can see that Boss Extrude 1 has been added to the tree. If you expand it, you can see that Sketch 1 has been consumed by Boss Extrude 1. That's it for this lesson. Before you proceed to the next lesson, be sure to save your work.